uzohlala endaweni enye ekhawuleze indibide kukhona endaweni ekhangelayo unebona ndinyonga.
Hey guys, it's Layla. Welcome back to the channel. Today I thought we would do a get ready with me. It's actually morning, so I'm getting ready for my day, and I figured this would also be a good time to do a life update, everything update essentially, because I haven't really spoken to you guys like that in a hot minute. And I thought we would start with something that I still tend to get questions about, something that a lot of you are still interested in, which was my 2020 New Year's video, where I basically shared that I had, I'd gone through like a traumatic breakup. I don't know if traumatic is the right word or perhaps a little bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, I mean, it was a traumatic breakup, and people still have a lot of questions for me about that breakup. Not necessarily about the breakup, but about how I navigated through that breakup, how I dealt with it, how I got to the space where I was. And even at that time when I made that video, it was pretty fresh, because it had only been about maybe like 3 months and a bit when I made the video. And in that video, what I did actually say was that I would come back and when the time was right and just share more of like what I'd gone through and how I was feeling and stuff like that. And I think that I want to share like lessons that I have learned today with you guys, I want to share the lessons with you guys, but I would absolutely love one day to come on here and share like what actually happened, like, the ins and outs of it, because I truly believe that whatever the things we experience in life, it's not necessarily always for our benefit, it's for the benefit of those around us. And for me, that was, one of the reasons why I started YouTube, was basically to share my experiences of like shifting paradigms around natural hair, caring for my natural hair, what was working, what wasn't working, all these little finite things, in the hopes that it would benefit other people, so that, if I've traveled this road, then you don't have to travel this road without knowing that, like, oh, there's a police car coming up, there's a ditch on this side, there's a pothole, like, be careful, mind the gap, like little things like that. And I recently had a conversation with my little brother Junior, and we were just talking about the fact that in life we always feel like we can only contribute, or we can only share, or we can only help once we've been through something and we've come out on the other side. We're always waiting to get to the other side so that we can come back with this like profound revelation of, like, this is what I learned on the other side, or whatever the case is. But actually, wherever you find yourself right now, wherever you are right now, you always have something to add, you always have something to share, you always have something to give, and there's always somebody in need of hearing that. So with that in mind, one thing that I would definitely say, because the majority of my audience are women, is that I think as women, and obviously I did this too, as women, we just have this idea that we possess the power to make somebody become something more than what they are, right? I don't think anybody can argue that point with me. I mean, you might be able to, I don't know, but I feel like we do that a lot. And I would just literally do a PSA right now to say that young women out there, even older women, older than me, so I'm 32, so anybody below that or above that, this applies. But I would definitely say that we need to stop dating potential. Okay, you know what I mean? If the person ticks every box, but you know, that some of the bigger boxes that you would really like to be ticked are not ticked, then you're like, okay, cool, I'm gonna nurture this person until they get to that point. I'm gonna wait for that person to get to that point. I'm gonna, pardon me, essentially just be around until this person reaches that point. And then you truly and deeply believe that's gonna happen. You invest your time and energy into facilitating this change, okay? And I'm telling you now, you cannot make someone change unless they want to. And if you found this person as they are, the likelihood is that they're there because they don't want to be anywhere other than where they are. And the thing is, you may be able to convince them that they want something different and they want something more just through being you as a person. Or some men may actually choose or believe that they could possibly want to be something more, and they will try to be everything that they feel like you might deserve or you might want. But the truth of the matter is, it always gets to the point where, I mean, how long can you pretend to be something that you're not? Do you know what I mean? How long can you try to do something that doesn't align with like the core of who you are? Eventually the person gets tired, and once that person is tired, the jig is up. Do you know what I mean? Once the jig is up, where do we go from there? It's all downhill. So I just really want to drum that in, because I know that as women, like, naturally we're so nurturing, and we always want to plant a seed and we want to see something beautiful crawl out of the soil. But that's not always the case. Okay, it's 100% not always the case. If you find somebody in a season I burnt my mouth. If you find someone in a season and that season is not for you, where you found that person, all the circumstances around that, like everything, that the whole being, whatever season that being is in, if that season is not for you, it is not your job to foresee the next season, because you can't, you don't know. At the end of the day, you don't know what season somebody is in. You don't know if they're in like the season 1 of the show, or if like they're in the penultimate season, or if they're in the finale of like that of the show. Like, you don't know where you found them, is what I'm trying to say. All you can do is look at the facts. The fact of the matter is, the season you found this person in, that season's not for you. So if that season's not for you, you need to just, like, that's it. It's the end of the story. Like, this is not for me, end of the story. But what we do is we come and we're like, okay, well, this isn't the best season that they could be in, but I definitely see potential for growth. I see this, I see that. I'ma stick it. I'ma stick by him. This young man, yes, that's him. I'ma stick by him. No. We need to stop doing that. I'm definitely, like, I have learnt my lesson. I'm not going to do that ever again in my life. If where I found you, if the season that this person's in is not for you, and I would like the same. If somebody comes and finds me in whatever season I am in my life, and that season is not for them, I would want them to leave. I don't want the burden of me now trying to be something other than what I am, just to make that person feel like, oh yeah, she's got potential. And the joke is, like, men never look at women and see potential. They see you for who you are right now. They see the right now. They're not thinking, oh, in future. Like, no, they see you for who you are, and they make their decision on whether or not they want this person in their life based on like what they are currently seeing. Rana serum. And so that's the main thing I just want to say is, whatever season that you find somebody in life, if that season is not for you, you need to leave them there. You need to just let it go. Yeah, that's my tip number 1. It's not a tip, it's basically what I've learned. These are more for me than anything else. It was definitely a hard lesson to learn, but I felt like it really underpinned everything, and I could just see like, oh my god. So after the breakup, I really felt like I had invested so much of myself. I had, you know, I had this elaborate plan of what our life was gonna look like, the things that we were gonna do, the things we were gonna achieve together, like all of these, just this whole life, this whole thing that I had planned. And actually now I think about it, and all of those things were literally underpinned by the hope that this person was going to be more, or you know, it was going to get to like another season that would make those things possible. Do you know what I mean? So really and truly, did I really believe that those things were going to happen? I couldn't have. I can't. It's not possible. I can't believe that those things are going to happen when that person is not in the position to make those things happen. All I could do was hope. Do you know what I mean? Like, I spent the whole time hoping. So then when the relationship ended, I just felt so hopeless. Essentially, I was just like, wow, like I really came to pour and pour and pour, and for all the pouring that I poured, this is what I got, like absolutely nothing for it. So that's what I just really want to say. And I also want to say that a lot of the time, you know, in life, like we go through so many different things, and everything, you are the sum of your experiences. And I always stress this: you are who you are today based on everything that you have gone through, everything that you have experienced, the life you've lived. The sun's gone down. Let me turn this up. Okay. So yeah, you are the sum of everything that you've been through in life, in this life. Okay. So everything makes a difference. Everything impacts you. Everything leaves a mark. Everything leaves a scar. Everything leaves something, a trace of itself behind in your life. And I will say that after that breakup, one of the key things that triggered inside me was actually like this sense of abandonment. I felt so abandoned. I just felt like, yeah, I felt like I was literally in a car. We were driving okay, I've got the best analogy for like the whole thing. It felt like me and this person had spent a really long time planning to go on this trip to this particular destination. We'd spoken about it, and then from speaking about it, we'd actually like started to action out what it actually takes to get to that point, what that looks like. Then we pulled resources together in order to ensure that this just destination can be got to. And even though those resources were not equally matched, even though the weight of those resources were majority, am I even saying that right? The majority of the resources that it was going to take in order to make this come to fruition were on my part, right? But all of this is done. Then we've actually packed all our tools and we've put them in the boot. We've gotten in this car and we're driving. I'm just like, wow, like I can't wait to get to this place. When we get to this place, it's going to be like this. They're like, yeah, when we get to this place, it's going to be like that. Then it's like I have a nap because I'm so comfortable. Like the drive is smooth, everything's easy. I am completely at ease, so I fall asleep. And then I wake up because the car has just like stopped suddenly. You know, I've just been like woken up. And then the other person is like, oh, do you know what? I don't even think I want to go to this place anymore. I've really been thinking about it. And I don't want to go. And I just didn't know how to tell you. But I don't think I want to go there, so maybe you should get out and yeah, maybe you should get out. So that's how I felt. I literally felt like I'd been abandoned on the side of the road. And once again, I just feel like that feeling was also underpinned by everything that I had invested in this whole relationship, in the hope that, you know, this person would enter a new season and allow for all of these things to actually happen. So that's one thing I just want to say to you guys. I can't I can't stress the importance enough of just, if you meet somebody as they are, character and all, and I feel like the character is the most important thing. The core of who someone is essentially never really changes. So for example, I think that some of you that have been watching my YouTube since I was like 21 years old, I have grown a lot, I have matured a lot about me has changed, but a lot of you will still be like the core of who you are is like the same. My character, who I am as a person, a lot of that remains the same. You can still see that thread runs across the span of my life. When you meet somebody, that character, those core things about that person, if you know that if those things were to remain the same, okay, unchanging forever and ever and ever, could you live with that? If you couldn't live with that, that means you have found that person in a season that's not conducive for you. You have to leave. You have to go. Don't even venture into it. Like, cautionary tale, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. So yeah, anyway, that's that. And yeah, so what else is new? Also, I invested in crypto. So unless you live underneath like a rock or something, like last week or the last couple of weeks, the cryptocurrency market literally took like a couple of hits, okay? And friends of mine have literally been invested in crypto for years now, actually, like a really long time, and they've always been like, oh, you should do it, you should do it, you should do it. And I'm really risk averse, so I've been like, no, not no, but I was just like, okay, I'll think about it. And usually I think about it is usually like, I'm not doing it. But yeah, over the years we've just spoken about it so many times, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and just invest a little something in there, see how it goes. And then the market kind of did a dip. Yes, I bought some crypto. I did like loads of research myself. I came on YouTube and I remember I watched a video, and the guy was like, oh, if you're gonna do crypto, make sure you're using a VPN. And I still have my Surfshark subscription, which I took out last year. So this video is actually also sponsored by Surfshark, so thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring another video on this channel. We got to enjoy using Surfshark when Girlfriends finally came to Netflix US. That's exactly the reason why I signed up, but now it also benefits. I use it pretty much every day. I always have my VPN on, and now that I am trading or buying into crypto, I want to make sure that my accounts are secure. For those of us who are unfamiliar, Surfshark essentially allows you to change your location to any part of the world by changing your IP address, or essentially by hiding your real IP address. It helps to encrypt information between your device and the internet. So whether you're on your phone or your laptop, your iPad, whatever the case might be, this helps to keep your personal data protected. Surfshark VPN encrypts all of my online data and helps me to secure my personal information, even if I am out and I am using public Wi-Fi. You can use my code FUSION to get 83% off plus an additional 3 months for free. I will leave the link in the description box for you guys to check it out. Oh, edges update. Let me tell you guys about my edges. So if you missed my video about my edges, I'm gonna link it there. Long story short, I went to Ghana, I got some braids. I wore those braids literally in like a bun, day and night, 24 hours a day, 360. And when I took it out, I'd like lost some of my edges. I've got a whole video about it, so you can check it out. So I had been using the Ordinary's multi-peptide serum, and it was actually working out really well. It was growing, and then I got braids. So you'll see in my video with Whitney, I had braids. I had my first ever knotless braids, guys. I absolutely loved it. I was able to wash my hair like every 2 weeks. It was so light. It was just amazing. There's nothing about those braids I didn't love. However, I did not get the braids at the right time, I'll tell you that for sure, because when I took them out, more of my edges fell out. So my hairline, like right here was the worst. So you can see I've lost like the most amount of hair right there, this whole bit. Like when I took the braid that was there out, like all the hair was on the braid, all of it fell out in that corner. But my scalp was flaking like crazy. I'd never seen anything like it. It was lifting in like big flaky like clumps, and that's one of the reasons why I even ended up taking my knotless out early, because they looked so good still. Yeah, the hair was bomb. I'm gonna get dressed. I'm gonna show you what I'm wearing today, even though I'm working from home. But yeah, I mean, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed our chat. Hopefully we'll have the opportunity to chat more as time goes on. I always feel this guilt when I am not like at the forefront of social media, when I'm not adding to the conversation, when I'm not but at the same time, sometimes I just need it. I just need this break. Do you know what I mean? Like I need to just slow all the way down. But the problem with slowing all the way down is when you slow all the way down, like literally to 0, once you're at that point, then it's like, oh man, like how do I come back? What do I have to add to the conversation now? Am I you know, do I still have space? Is there space for me? Can I add to the conversation? Like all of these things go through my mind, and then I start to second guess myself, and I'm like, oh, maybe, you know, imposter syndrome is real. Anywho, let me know your thoughts about, you know, what I said about women and the relationship. Let me know your thoughts about like my relationship that I mentioned, or what you know of it and things like that. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
You want to feel love, or if you want to give love, like no expectations, man. There shouldn't be any expectations, you know? Yeah, there's no like formula either, you know, on how to love someone. There's no formula on how to love yourself either, you know? But for you to love someone, you gotta love yourself first.
In this world that we live in, there's two main motivating forces. It's love or fear. And you can't explain love.